Hello and welcome back to SliverStar Arcade and more, the great Ace Attorney. In the last episode, we finished off case 5, and now we start, we finished off case 4, now we start case 5, the adventure of the unspeakable story. One second. Alright. Let's start it. I'm gonna mute myself because I think, yeah, I think a cutscene's gonna play.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles."
Well then, this looks great. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. Oh, thank God. Okay, that means Mr. Natsumi made it okay. Because I was totally afraid that this was going to be a trial of Mr. Natsumi's death. Okay, he made it back to Japan, probably. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on our day, we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that faithful telegram. 15th April, 9:13 a.m. Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy. Oh, wow. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Sasada-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Sasada-san? Yes? It is time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So, shall we go down to Mr. Sholms' suite? Yes! Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Let me see, what case is it today? Here we go again. First, let's examine everything. It's spring at last, and the weather is warmer now. But I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Oh, would you like some tea, Naruhodo-san? Thank you, Sasada-san, but I'm alright for now. Oh, she She calls us Naruhodo-san instead of Mr. Naruhodo. Or Naruhodo. Is that because we're in private? Or is that because we've grown closer over these 2 months? With the green tea Sasoda-san makes me from time to time, and Iris's unique herbal infusions, this place is paradise for a true tea lover. Green tea is such a wonderful accompaniment to British tea cakes, don't you think? Yeah, the second I saw that shovel. That spade has been in here since we started renting the place. Oh, that's not a spade, Naruhodo-san. It's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose materials. It's a shovel. I don't want to dig a hole for myself, so let's leave it. Really? I can't do the ladder? Unless that was supposed to be the joke for the ladder. We have a lot of stuff. We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already. You could tidy up once in a while. Sasoda-san, I always say, making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies. And time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause. The time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework. She wins, but I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. And of course the, what was it, is it a Daruma? Daruma, oh yeah, the Daruma doll I brought with me from home. Still with only one eye colored in. I'd say I'd color the other eye once I won my first court case here in Britain, but you have one, haven't you? Twice, in fact. Because I feel as though I'm still lacking as a lawyer. I'll tell you what. Why don't you color the other eye in once you think I'm a proper, fully fledged lawyer? If you insist. That's adorable. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, is this one of these, oh no. So this is the tea set Sasoda-san brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter. Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Naruhodo-san. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it, you know. I don't like to see you screw up your face, so. This must be the telegram. Let's see. No, you mustn't look at that. Not under any circumstances. Alright, I won't. I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, but you can be very mischievous at times. Then put the telegram away if you don't want people looking at it. Oh, so it's her telegram, not ours. Alright, what is this, a little aquarium? We were rather lucky to find that old aquarium left behind. The prawns we put in there are doing rather well. And the anemones, too? Or Nemos? It's a wonderful invention, isn't it? The sea, behind the glass, inside your room. And another example of Great Britain's greatness. Having to clean it out and change the water isn't so great, though, is it? And what's this? Is that the bathroom? Do you know, I've never seen inside your room there, Sasoda-san. Oh, it's her room. I've never even peeped inside. I should think so, too. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know. Whatever you say, young maiden. Is that everything in here? Oh, wait, what was it? Nope, got that. Alright, yeah, I guess now we can talk. The telegram. Oh god, so Seki-san's an option. So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you're not getting away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Ahem. It was just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. I promise I'll tell you about it at some point. Alright, I understand. Well, I don't. And I don't like that. When people keep secrets from you in these games, it's usually for a bad reason. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him, do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruto-san? I was just wondering. What might have become of Soseki-san had he stayed in London, that's all? You mean, as regards Lord Von Zeke's, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. The Reaper. What the? 1 second, guys. And we're back. Converse. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Oh, like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past few months. Hey! Justice is a lady, as we know from the Edgeworth games. The goddess of justice, as Courtney won't shut up about. Surely not wielding that sword again against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Von Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh? Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So, it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spat of trials then. Ugh, just my luck. I wonder if we have a reputation of, like, no prosecution wants to go up against us because we've defeated the Reaper. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry? What was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. It means a great deal to me, you know, that you cherish his armband so, and wear it each time you appear in court. Well, it's very important to me. It's what shows that I'm a lawyer, and whenever I wear it, I feel as though it gives me strength through Kazuma. I absolutely cannot be without it, especially when I'm at a critical point in a trial. But just the other day, I noticed you wearing it when you went to visit the park. Sometimes I forget to take it off. I wonder if this changes them. The layer's name is embroidered on the inside here. Look. Kazuma Sogi. This was his armband, of course. He has heart set on the study tour in Great Britain. I'm sure he would have found the truth he longed for here. He lost his life before he ever had the chance to see the place. I have such a strong sense of his hopes and dreams when I look at this armband, though. Alright, enough prattle. With the furniture we've moved in recently, this place is starting to feel like a real office. My lodging's office, located in the attic of the suites, rented by Mr. Sholms. I call it a consultancy, but clients aren't exactly being down the door. The home and office of the world-famous great detective and his young companion, Iris. It seems people from all over the globe come to engage his consultant detective services. When you're ready, let's go downstairs for breakfast. 15th April, Sholmes' suite. Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie. Oh, God, is Holmes trying to play the violin? Good morning, Iris. Iris? What is it, Runo? What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Ah, yes. You noticed that, didn't you? Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning. Oh, damn. A good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Holmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Damn this blanched existence. That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Oh, that was Sholmes, sorry. Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. The cat! Oh, look! It's Wagahi! Good morning, boy. So adorable! It's adorable! That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get there? Well then, everyone, it's time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. Oh yeah, the giant typewriter. Okay, we have to... Oh. One second. I'm just going to quickly save, because I have a feeling that if I click on Iris, that's how you progress the story. These are all mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases, I think. If he's been involved in my case, I wonder if the beefsteak from La Carnival would be on display here. A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon. Ah, what an entrancing collection. It looks like an untidy assortment of junk to me, rather like what's on my own shelves.
Well, you really have to learn to keep your things in order, Mr. Naruhodo.
No favoritism there at all. The fire's burning comfortably in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow.
Oh, look at that photographic print of a lady displayed on the mantelpiece. Could it be? Yes, it must be. It's the woman. Oh, how exciting.
Is that supposed to mean something to me? Awarded the woman. It looks like that huge metal chest is being used as a table for tea and coffee. It seems very sturdy with an equally sturdy lock.
Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't go around opening things. I always have to keep an eye on you, don't I? You're very mischievous.
How did you come to that conclusion? Oh! Well then, there's a lot here. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Iris doing much writing recently. But there's paper already set up in the typewriter, look, as if she's about to start.
That reminds me, when I mentioned that Iris was in the process of writing a fully fledged novel, Mr. Natsumi was most impressed.
Ah, yes, Mr. Natsumi. That's what I'll be doing too, once I'm back in Japan, he said through tightly clenched teeth and fists. I can't speak. Aw, this is all adorable. Iris's beautiful tea set is there on the table as usual. A cup of one of her special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain.
The English pastime of tea has many similarities with our own tea ceremony customs, don't you think? It's the idea of hospitality behind it. That's the essence of tea.
This is where Iris notes down ideas, isn't it? Let's see, what does it say today? Ah, the Boscombe Valley Mystery.
Oh, how intriguing! It must be the title of Iris's latest work. Oh my, I wonder what fantastic tale awaits us.
Susoe-san looks like an angel, but I bet she's dreaming of the most unsavory crime you could imagine. That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems.
Science is the future, Mr. Naruhodo. You can't deny it. I'm saving my money so I can buy some chemistry apparatus as well.
Law, chemistry, takedown throws. What diverse skills you boast, Mrs. Sato.
As useful as they are, I'm not sure that my throwing skills are worthy of inclusion in that list.
They're probably the thing you're best at. Unless we're implying that Naruhodo is as thin as a piece of paper and can be thrown by anyone. Alright, we're almost done. There's just so much stuff. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment.
Oh, it's such a charmingly untidy collection of paraphernalia, isn't it?
It just looks messy to me, like my desk.
But you, Mr. Naruhodo, must learn to tidy up after yourself.
No favoritism there, then. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk. It's completely clear. Isn't that enormous machine usually on it?
We can never hope to understand what goes on in the great detective's mind, Mr. Naruhodo. Why, next time we're invited, we may find he's vacated the entire suite.
That's scarily plausible, actually. Okay. I think that's... Let's converse. Wanting to die. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholms. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its melodic tones would make flowers bloom. It would? But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
For hours I have bowed, for days even. Through the night I have endeavored, to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone. Gone forever! No more recycles of unbridled emotion!
Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley?
Don't worry, I'm sure it'll come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day, they bestow genius on a man. The next, they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh dear. Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Just gonna save real quick. The missing machine.
Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today.
Well done, Mrs. Sato. Your observation skills do you credit.
Oh, no, Mr. Sholmes. They pale into insignificance when compared to yours.
You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you?
You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's at Windy Banks now.
Sorry, it's at a windy bank?
No, Windy Banks, the pawnbrokery.
Pawn... What? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see, quite undeservingly.
But isn't it very important machinery for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed with little income I have to you.
Dear madam, things are far from desperate.
But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate?
Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? Doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, let's understand exactly. How pawnbroking works? What did you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks.
Banks?
On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily throughout the week.
And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London.
And should they have the money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise.
Oh, how ingenious.
So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windy Banks, you see.
A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault.
Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley?
What does it matter? The world is dead to me now.
Alright, yep, that's that. So, hey, Herlock, what'd you think of this?
Mr. Sholms, could I ask for your opinion about this? You lure me to raise my languid head with the promise of some mental exaltation, yet in my morbid depression, I'm confronted with the most mundane of problems.
Oh,
My mind finds greater stimulation in the unforgiving monotony of the floor than in your miserable offering.
always glad to help.
Oh, my head weighs heavy on my shoulders.
Okay. Iris, isn't it about time for breakfast? Wagahi.
Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled into his new home then.
Oh yes, I have become very attached to little Waggy.
It would appear his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures, their muse as empty as the heart of the muses.
Oh my god, it's adorable!
If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place.
I expected he would have taken him if he could, but pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience.
And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed.
Well, I don't mind because Waggy is adorable.
Yes, he really is.
Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from?
Oh, you noticed. You were observant, Runo. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention.
Oh god, the music is back! What is that thing?
I call it the Cat Flapomat.
Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats.
That's right, it can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it to any door at all, no matter what it's made of.
It's very powerful, you see. Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap rather than make a machine to make the cat flap?
Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like.
Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Hee hee hee. Oh, what was that? Wagahi? Oh no.
What was that?
Oh no! Wagahi's tangled up in your violin.
I think he thinks it's a toy. No!
What's he doing to it?
Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care?
What?
I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now.
Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives. Shall I, Hurley?
Out of the cat's reach if possible. Maybe we should assess the damages.
Ah, there it is. Oh wait, but we can also talk to her again.
Alright, time to save again then. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier Antonio Stradivari.
Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me.
I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings.
How honorable of you.
And until today, it has been my faithful companion in ever great Pagnagami-inspired performances I've made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is none!
Mr. Sholmes?
What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine.
Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think?
Huh? What do you mean, Mrs. Sato?
Oh, Susie's right. Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before.
Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this?
I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all.
Then, what?
I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola.
What?
Oh, Jesus Christ, we killed him. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you alright?
You're right. You are quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam?
Not your faithful performance partner, then? Ah, I see what must have happened.
You do, Iris?
This is just a simple mix-up.
It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what happened if we ask her.
Oh, God, the music is back.
The mix-up. What do you mean by mix-up, Iris?
Well, you see, this viola, I mean, was at Windy Banks until last week.
Ah, at the pawnbroker's. Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There is a proverb from the East, with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel.
Yes, indeed.
So, You sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth?
Oh, what a wonderful idea.
Last week, I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument, but it would appear Mr. Winsybank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. Pshaw! A fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker. They will try to fiddle you every time.
But earlier you told us you could think of pawnbrokeries as an extremely secure vault.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect. Freezing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct considering the urgency with which we are faced?
We must visit Mr. Windybank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholms?
Precisely, Mrs. Sato. Without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to fresh your eggs ever more obtusely. Alright, say no more, let's go then.
Don't worry, Runo. I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later.
Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what British pawnbrokers looks like. Can we converse with him more? No. And we will do that in the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you'll stick around for what is the final case of the game. I'm so excited. We've been trying to do this for months, almost half a year now, and it's finally going to come to an end. Alright, so, as always, stay safe, have fun, and have a great day.